3 Shrikes and you're out. Has to be COVID because this ship is way cheaper than I thought it would be. Probably Car2All level would be at the bare minimum where I was thinking, if not it getting the fighter tax in addition to that, and being somewhere closer to, let's just say, the Bandu Defender.
Definitely, it's way cheaper than I expected. I was expecting like 200 to 250 because, and it was supposed to be stealth. Yeah, it was supposed to be stealth, alien, and fighter tax. All those three together, like, I'm pleasantly surprised by the price. Hey, like, I don't say I would want to buy it at that price. I'm saying I would expect them to sell it at its price because they have done in the past with stuff like that. Just look at the blade. It's just a fighter, and it's overpriced as hell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hands down, it's going to be the Talon. The guns are going to be way more reliable. And I say reliable, even for a hit and run fighter. The issue I have with the missile boat is one, we don't know the state of missiles in the game. And two, depending on how they have it loaded in there, if it, are they going to be able to fire them all at once? Are they going to be able to adjust the payload? There's a little bit of variability that we don't know yet.
Well, I do agree we don't know the states of missiles in the game yet by the time it comes out. We also don't know the state of guns at that time. Like, those things are always constantly in flux. And I do know that CG wants missiles to be deadly. I don't say it's going to be cheap, but if you want to use the ship, in my opinion, for its intended role, I think the Shrieker is the best of the two variants because 24 size 3 missiles? I'm sorry, anything small and medium, you're gonna kill it with one of these things. You will pay to kill it, but what do you rather have? You kill your target, or your target might kill you? Well, one of the things that surprised me with the Shrike one is definitely the amount of missiles and the size of them. Like, it's 4 less size 3 missiles, I believe, as the Freelancer Misk. Now, it doesn't have guns, of course, to compensate for that, but I still think firepower-wise, it's insane. Depending on how good those missiles are, like, we know they're Tevarin missiles, and what that means, we don't know. But I definitely think it sits in a good price compared to the other light fighters, and actually even compared to the other alien fighters. If I would need to advertise like one alien fighter at this time, I would say get this one. Like, I would still advise getting in the in game and not here, but if you're absolutely dead set on getting one, yeah.
Well, basically, the Shrike is one of the best deals in the game right now because that is also the cheapest missile boat. You jump up and you do gain a little bit when you move up to the Gladiator, but you definitely have the cheapest missile boat with the Shrike. And for the regular fighter, I think we're really going to have to see what happens when it's actually released because how maneuverable is it really going to be? Because from what I remember, right, there's a difference in maneuvering thrusters on the stats page versus the brochure. We have to figure out where that is, as well as how good those shields are, because it is a glass cannon and those the maneuverability and the shields really are going to be the deciding factor whether it's a amazing glass cannon for skilled fighters or if it's actually just a flying death trap.
Um, I, I believe Silo said on the forums that this time we shouldn't look at the stats page, but look at the brochure because the info is right on the brochure. But you never know.
Well, our chat actually mentioned right now by Karadeth that if the Shrike has bestowed missiles, then basically then you can have balance that way. So you can
And
balance
it
that
has
out.
it it's set to have Talon missiles too. So special missiles to the
Mm.
Tevarin missiles, so they can balance those missiles individually compared to all the other missiles. Well, well, the only thing I think we didn't talk about is the shields. Like, It comes with the same shields as the Banu Defender, pretty much only a size smaller. And those shields do have 100% ballistic resistance, which is assuming they're the same ones, because in the brochure they're called by the same name. That means it's a lot tankier than you think, but the shields won't regenerate in combat. So I think that definitely states, yeah, but really fucking slow. Like if you want them to regenerate in combat, you need to stay out of combat for a long time. I quite
Makes perfect sense and totally agree with your points. The other two things that I think we missed are really the two key points of the way the cockpit works and the ejection seat. The ejection seat, I think, is one of my favorite things about this, because you actually basically have an ejection pod, which in theory means you're going to have longer survival than you would with just your oxygen tank there, which is
true.
amazing, with the combined with the fact that you don't actually have a glass canopy from what I can tell, which means you can't necessarily be sniped right through the canopy like you can with some of the other fighters. Blade. Blade would come out on top, and the reason I say that is the blade has two things going for it. Let's just say they're roughly equally maneuverable. Where the big thing is the blade is going to have a lot more sustained firepower, and its shields are going to regen a lot faster. So it's going to be able to stick around a little bit longer. So if you miss that alpha strike with your missiles, you're just dead.
To be fair, like he says, if you miss, but if you would not use the missile variant and the normal variant, it does have the advantage of having the Tevarin shields. Like that's a big bonus, and it uses ballistic weapons, so you're not that much worried about the shields. Of the blade. Yeah, or you die. So pretty, like a parrot. Oh, guys!
See you around.
Bye.